the cloud. Well, let's go ahead and officially get this started. This is call 4, call 3. I don't know what day it is because I missed yesterday. Is it 3? Okay, this is call 3. Because I missed yesterday because I got my braces put on and this expander and my whole mouth was a mess. So just deal with me with the slurring and the spit that's coming out of my mouth because I'm learning how to talk with all this. So welcome to whatever day it is. I'll get that clear. Letitia was just sharing something. Will you repeat to put that on record so that, again, it's co-creating and expansion happens when we start to hear what everybody else is creating together. So do you mind?
So what I was sharing is that I had a call with you one-on-one, and in which, like, I told you that when I get clarity, I know things manifest for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so the thing that showed up was like with this first class you've done, you kind of clear, because I had already went into conclusion that I wasn't ready to start a bars business. And so with this that you just started now, you clear that energy of like the commitments I had done or whatever I had destroyed that business and start new.
Great.
So I put the intention out. Okay, you need to create yourself because it's costing me money to have a bars license.
Okay.
So
Very
I'm like, I need to create money as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so I have 2 clients now that have come up just this week.
Wonderful.
And I wanted to say thank you for that.
You're welcome. Well, how's it getting better than that? And also acknowledge yourself, because when we show up, that's when the magic happens. It happens when we're on our own, but boy, does it happen when we're in a group energetic co-creation together. So yay.
Yay, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm excited to hear more about that. And Tanya is here and she's on the call, and we just finished a 3-month with Crystal Crawford, who I've been working with for almost 3.5 years. And we just finished the mastermind, which was the biggest investment I had ever spent. It was $4,500 to work with Crystal for 3 months. And it was just me, Tanya, and another girl. How does it get any better than that? And Tanya got on with not even having a business yet, right? Bars. And tell us what, just because we have a lot of new people on here who are new to energy work, new to the way that we talk, the tools and so forth. So just working with another energetic, magnificent woman. How has that worked with you building a business?
Well, actually, and then there were no words.
And then there were no words. I kind of put you on the spot. I'm so sorry.
It's just, I had to ask many questions. And before the program, I asked myself 2 questions. And one was, how can I triple my income? And how can I even let people know that I exist, that I have to offer something? Because I knew for a long time what I wanted, what my qualities are. But the thing to come out, to go to public, that was another thing. And then Crystal changed her money membership into 2 options. And the second wasn't interesting, it was the first. So it was the mastermind, and it was a huge step out of my comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
But immediately it created so much change for me. And also it was an answer to the question, how can I come out? How do I go to the pub? How do I show myself to the public? Because I didn't have investment.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked the question, what would it take for me to get it? And then I got awareness, you have to find investors. So up I go, but okay, how does it work? And how can I talk to people? Okay, I will write an email, but it took a lot of time because well, you know, asking for money and to invest is something else. And then the bell rang.
No,
And
it was somebody else coming and then the
yeah,
bell rang.
I know, but it's a contribution, the energy. And
Absolutely,
anyway,
absolutely.
the thing is, asking people for, hey, you know, that I wanted to say this before. It would be, oh, would you please invest in me, because otherwise I can't attend the program. And now it was, Wednesday evening I start, will you invest in me? And that was so a big change in energy also.
With
So
a demand, an energetic demand.
yeah,
Okay.
and from that day off, things really changed, and it has. I have how do you say in English? I have destroyed my foundation, or like this, because before I was having a hobby,
Okay.
and now I changed that, and a lot of change, and because Crystal told me, okay, you have a physical, and you want to do the access bars, so you have to go out each day and talk to people.
Mhm.
And also that was a big stretch. even asking my friends and family, that was, you know, and then afterwards came the professionals, and making lists, and who is interesting. And it was also very interesting to be with you and the other girl, because you already have made many choices, created your own business, and you explored a lot. You have experiences in how to come, how to show yourself in the public, how to connect, how to give bars, how to everything. You and the other girl, and Crystal, all you all have so professional skills, and being there as a hobbyist amongst you have given me so much inspiration, and also the drive to just keep choosing, although I have been everywhere. Yeah, and I have had enormous moments of intensity and uncomfortable moments, because in the beginning it was me and you, and then Krista said, no, just start we are starting all at the same level, because you and the other girl, you have a business, but it's always the same basics.
Mhm.
Expose yourself.
Okay, got it.
And
Mhm.
what to do to expose yourself, and
Love that. What to do? Yep. To expose yourself. Yep. Yep.
so and at the end, the thing I learned is the practical tools. Just the okay, you have to find people. Where do they live? Where do they work? What's your target? How do you get there? It's all the practical stuff.
Mhm.
And now I'm in a space between. It's in a kind of zone.
Mhm.
It's like I'm doing nothing, but now I am more aligned to the energies.
Right. Perfect.
Because I had a private coaching with Crystal, and she said, you know, of the call, I don't know anymore, but I asked her, because now it was, okay, where are the practice, where are the people, okay, that street, those area of the town, and blah, blah, blah. And I just wrote them all down, and took my bike and just go and visit them. But now Crystal, she said something about feeling the energies. Okay, she said, I align to the target, I would say. And I align with it energetically, and then I ask my body, okay, today, where are we going?
Right.
And then she follows her body, and if she comes to a place with a lot of people, she asks her body, okay, show me which one is open for me, which one is open for bars or whatever. So it's an energetic way of doing. It's more being.
Mhm.
being the connection. And so I'm at this stage now that I'm really exploring more what it is, feeling the energy, being the energy, feeling my space, the ease, and not actually writing down lists, but more and more, okay, what do I want? How does
Question. Yeah,
yes, and what does it send? What's the sense of it?
sense of it.
And then I will combine my practice of the first month and do it on another level. But that's where I'm at now.
Love it. Thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you for that. I mean, from so many levels, I did not pay her to say all of that. So thank you
No.
for the words. And she's coming to us from Belgium, and just how she's speaking from the space of energy. And that's what we're talking about. So I'm going to take it from there, and it's not funny. It's not a coincidence. It's the way that energy is, that several of the things she talked about is in my notes right now. So that's just the way it goes. And what I will get across too is that us working in that, there is power, ladies. I am inviting you to the next step of working with me. That is part of this, wherever that shows up, whether you're in the Phenomenal Woman community, whether you're in the next 12 weeks of expansion, which I'm going to talk about how that name and everything about it changed in less than 12 hours. And Tanya was part of me creating this last program, How to Sell for Coaches. It took 60, 70 hours to put it together. And overnight, last night, I changed everything about it, because everything about me is in expansion. This expander I have in my mouth, this everything, and all of a sudden in the middle of the night, I'm like, that will work. But where we're going, where I'm going, who wants to come with me? We're expanding beyond what we think is even possible. So that's how you follow the energy. Even though there was hours spent on something, and you're like, so this is for you for business. It's like you're doing all this in front of you. And if I had stayed on that path of how to sell for coaches who hate selling, just the energy of that, that's still going to be, I'm sorry, still learning how to talk with all this. That's going to have its own energy and attract, but where I'm going and the people that are going to choose whatever, it was like mouth expansion, body expansion, business expansion, and what else? But I changed it all. And we get so stuck in this is what it's supposed to look like. I mean, we all do it. Like, this is my business. This is the name of the theme. This is how, blah, 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 blah. And if we do that, we've gotten into projections, we've gotten into conclusions. And when we project and conclude something, here's what's cool about it, is only that can come in, nothing else. So if we have decided that this is what something's supposed to look like in our business, this is it. I used to do it for years in business. This is how much, this is how many people. Only that can come into your world, nothing else. So when we go to this place of what's beyond this reality, beyond this expansion, and you follow that in your business and you ask questions, that's how it works. So you talked about that. And then my topic today was question. So that was cool that you brought that up. And when you're new to energy, or the way that I coach and through Access Tools, is sometimes it's like, how can a question, why, what is that? But what a question does, I had a client right before this, I did bars on, and she's training her dog. It got in trouble and they had to, the authorities came and attacked somebody. So long story. So she had to get a clicker thingy. So every time it does this thing, she clicks it, and she says he kind of freezes and he doesn't know what to do. Well, what a question does is, and when it's the right questions, it's not just a question, it's the way we formulate these questions. It creates, when you ask a question, what it does is it creates up this energy for an awareness. Like, so that dog freezes every time before he lunges forward. A question is like your body and your head goes, I don't know. I don't have an answer for that, because we're asking a question that does not have an answer. It only has this weird space of like, I don't know. What is that? And then we ask more questions. So then it just keeps expanding, my big word for right now, into this place of, okay, I have a question, I have a choice. And with that choice creates a possibility. And then that possibility becomes what we start doing. And then it comes back as a contribution. So those are kind of like the 4 things of how that works. So read my notes. Thank you for that. So every question creates a possibility. And so I think we may have talked about this a little bit on the last couple of days, but I don't know. It's like we talked a little bit about heavy and light. Okay, again, basic tools and access will change your life, just like the basic 4, 5, whatever will change. So in your business, keep asking, will this make me money? If I choose this, will it make money? When I invested in Crystal, and as well as Tanya investing in coaching, and she actually had to get investors, people to help her, and you ask, you go beyond the logical that said, goes beyond the logical of I can't afford that. Okay. And I get that. That's all about money and receiving and all the places we've blocked. We'll talk a little bit about that. That's like been my number one go-to my whole life. The first thing I throw up is I can't afford it. So then I put that energy up there. Today, I can receive so much more. So I don't have to block it off right away. And then I can ask questions. Wow, that was really cool how I just described that. But it was always like, whoop, protect me because I'm not even whatever. But now it's like, let me take a look at that. So when I asked, will this investment with her, and I've made many of them with her, this one was beyond, but I'm like, if I choose this, will it create something different? And I was so clear, and I didn't even know what that was. I didn't even care. I didn't ask the questions. And then Crystal has this magnificent way of, we had an hour and a half with her every week, and she had no subject. And we just sit there. And if we don't have questions, then we just paid a heck of a lot of money for a class. So access and energy work is a lot like that, because those who show up are the ones who are coming to be the energy for the conversation. So the courses, everybody's different, will have their energy of what we're going to talk about to continue to grow. But that's the thing even about not going to a coach that's a linear coach, maybe really like step A, B, C, and D. Well, if you're like all over the place and create massively like that, it's really hard for us to fit into that structure. So when you're choosing anything for your business, ask, will this create money? Will this make me money? And it really helps. And also not into judgment of it. Okay, so, maybe if it isn't something you can afford, not judging it, but what is it that's possible beyond that? Okay, I can't afford that, but where else could I choose something that would create something like that? Not that full up wall, it's not possible. And then you look at, if it's super heavy and light tool, it's like, instead of like, I can't afford that, it's like, okay, cool. What else is possible? It's really heavy. So just because something's heavy doesn't mean we stop. Like just because it's heavy, it means no. It means ask some more open-ended magical questions. What else is possible? And then you just wait for the little clicker, like the dog, for your head to go, oh my gosh, I have no idea right now, but I'm just going to be the space for what else is possible. So what I wrote down here is, would you be willing, how did I write this? Would you be willing to change the energy of every judgment or conclusion you have put in place? Would you be willing to change the energy of every judgment and conclusion, you have put in place, and allow the infinite possibilities to show up for you in your business? I'm going to have to say that a few times. And everything that is, and everything that brings up, would you destroy and uncreate it? Right and wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all 9 shorts, boys, povads, and beyond. So question, would you be willing to change the energy, destroy and uncreate the conclusions and the judgment you have put in place, and allow the infinite possibilities of expansion to show up for you in your business. Whew, and everything that doesn't allow that, times a godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, pon poc, all nine shorts, boys, pobeds, and beyond. So that's just being an energy like we first started with. Are you willing to go beyond what's the obvious? Like, what does that mean? I don't know. It's just being a question. Are you willing to take your business beyond the obvious? And what would you be willing to change the energy of that? Okay, cool, great. And be willing to choose over the judgment and conclusion that you've already put in place. Everything that is, again, right, wrong, good and bad, pon poc, all nine shorts, boys, pobeds, and beyond. So questions create. A question can change everything. So then I wrote down some notes, and of course it goes right into what Tanya was talking about, was, let me see if I can read my scribbled notes before I got in here. I was working with somebody the other day, and she got, oh yeah, so I really stuck on something, which we do. And I reminded her, we don't have to change or choose anything. We get to be willing, to be willing, to be willing, to be willing. I had to take her like 5 levels down of being willing to even look at something that might possibly need to be changed. Even though she knew it needs to be changed because it's what's holding her back. But we don't have to clear all of that, but just that space of like, just be willing to be willing to be willing to be willing. And that's that thing where there's so many layers of points of views and conclusions. And so it left her in this space of like, okay, I am aware that I can be willing to choose something different, which will change everything. But I'm also willing not to be willing to have to change it right now. That creates this place instead of your like walls up, barriers up, defend, avoid, and push it all away. And so from there, she will have so much more space to continue to ask questions. So I just wrote down being willing to do whatever it takes. And there's a lot of points of view of be willing to do whatever it takes. I've also learned, because I come from 20 years in Mary Kay, that was a motto that we live by, be willing to do whatever it takes. There is a difference between being willing and making a decision, and then choice. I could go all over on that. We use the word a lot in this reality. I've made a decision. And if you look at the word of decision, and we used to say this as a leader, I would say, cut off all other possibilities and make a decision. And what was funny was I was actually saying, cut off all other possibilities and make a defined decision. And once you make a decision and it doesn't match the decision, the only place you can go is like, I always called it like you become a loser. Because you've now just defined that this is the way it's supposed to look, even though there might be magic and mysteries and miracles happening everywhere else, just because you've decided this is what I will be, this is how much. Once you've made that decision, you cut off all other possibilities. So the word is choice. So what are you choosing? Are you willing to do whatever it takes? What are you willing to be the energetic demand for? That's the difference. Tanya was talking about it like she's now a different demand that's required for her business to grow. And that energy then becomes action. Okay. It wasn't like a full-on decision. It was an energetic willing to be what's required for the business. Okay, so sorry, went off on a tangent on there, but that is the difference of a decision will cut off all possibilities. It takes you out of the magic, mysteries, and miracles versus I'm willing. Crystal used to say that to me all the time. Once you demand a change in your money points of view will change. It took me 2 years to get what she was saying, and I was so pissed every time she would say, once you make a demand, it will change, because I was demanding. but there was a lot of stuff that had to be cleared before it is where I have the ease today. So don't get frustrated like I did for a while. It's like, I am. It's like, wait a minute, just like, what am I choosing? So then I wrote, everything we want is outside of our comfort zone. I think, Tony, you said that. You said the word comfort zone too. Everything we desire, and again, there's a difference words between want and desire, but we won't have to go into that. But everything is beyond the comfort zone. And we always talk about that in linear work. And that is like, well, we don't ask a question. We don't ask, what can I choose beyond my comfort zone? We just do this thing of like a mindset. I don't even know what we do. But the question would be, is what can I choose today outside of my comfort zone? What energy, space, and consciousness can I be to be outside of my comfort zone? And everything that doesn't allow that for all of you, would you please now barriers down, destroy and uncreate all of that. Woo, right and wrong, good and bad, pod poc, all 9 shorts, boys, POVADs and beyond. And see, that so ties into this expansion thing I'm doing right now, because our comfort zone is where we create, and we're asking what is beyond that expansion, and what energy, space, and consciousness can my business and I be beyond my comfort zone, and what is that expansion? Like, it's infinite. So then I wrote down, it's our points of view that keep us comfy. So I don't know if we always look at it that way. Our comfortable zone, our comfort zone, is our points of view, which keep us in our little warm sweater in our comfy zone. So our points of view create a reality. So when I work with somebody and they're like, well, I don't want it to be like this anymore. I want more. I want something different, whatever it is that we come in with that. It's like, I do say, the comfy little sweater that you're wearing, what can we be? What energy, space, and consciousness can you be? Take off your little comfy sweater. You know, that's what that means, energy, space, and consciousness, to ask the questions of what can you choose just today to be on, to be beyond, choose beyond the comfort zone. And the comfort zone is just an energy. If you really start to break that down, that's what bars is about, is destroying and then creating all the whatever. I won't even go into that, but bringing down those comfort zone barriers. Okay, so it's our points of view that keep us comfy. Then I would ask, in your business, this is interesting too. Hold on, I just looked at a whole bunch of stuff. We used to say, and it's pretty true, you are like the 5 people that you hang out with. I don't know if you guys know that or not. So we should say that. Well, I say that in business. So what happens is, wow, this has opened up a whole nother, like with your business, and especially like where I'm expanding on a different level. You are like those 5 people. So we often stay in that little comfy sweater group because we're all wearing the same sweaters. So all of a sudden you kick off your sweater and you are choosing something different. And that is also where it's uncomfortable. So anything that brings up, I think it's in my world right now. So I just saw that. It's like, oh, I just took that sweater off. So where are all my sweater girlfriends now? It's like, I don't have this, they're gone. Now it's like, and sometimes that holds us back from choosing something greater than the group that we're hanging with. So everything that doesn't mean you have to divorce everybody and let them go, but you become aware of that. And everything that brings up, like what else is possible beyond the group that you're creating with. And that's where masterminds come in together, when you have a group once a week and you're taking it so beyond the realm of where the people are that you're hanging out with. Everything that is, when you destroy it and create it, everything that doesn't allow that, right, wrong, good, bad, pod poc, all 9 shorts, boys, POVADs and beyonds. Wow. So there's just so much on that. Wow. That's just pretty cool. So, what else did I write? Now is the time to get uncomfortable. release, remove, and create the limitations. How did I write that? Now is the time to get uncomfortable and release and remove and uncreate the limitations that are creating our comfort zone. So, is now the time? The time is now. We did that in the last 12-week group. We said it every day is now the time is now, the space is now, because that came from Dr. Dane. There was a space that was creating in the world, and they were on that. Now is the space, now is the time. And I actually have the video, and I will put it in your email today. You guys, some of you have probably seen it, some of you haven't. I posted it in the Phenomenal Woman community, but is now the time? Now is the time, now is the space. Now is the space. There is so much shifting and changing, and there is no coincidence that you are here asking for more in your life right now from an energetic, conscious place. So now is the time to get uncomfortable, release, remove, and uncreate the limitation that your comfort zone is creating with total ease. And everything that doesn't allow that would destroy and uncreate it. Right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all 9 shorts, boys, POBEDs, and beyonds. And remember, if you're new, that's called the access clearing statement. And here's the thing that I also know: the more and more and more and more and more that you clear, however it is that you're choosing to clear, we use the clearing statement because that's just what we use, is eventually, I talked to Crystal the other day and I'm like, you never cleared anything for us. Like, we didn't do any clearings. And she says, and I knew what she was going to say is that I am the clearing statement. And you will be too the more that you practice it. So you bring up a question and you look at the energy, yes or no, whatever. And then you start to just move beyond that solid, solidified point of view. So I laughed at her. I'm like, we paid a lot of money and you never pocked and potted us. And she's like, well, you don't need to be pocked and potted, because as soon as you would ask me a question, you had already cleared it. And I'm like, well, yeah. So what, how fun is that? But that's what the clearing statement does until you are already it. It does so many dynamic things. So let me take a sip. My teeth and my mouth are killing me right now. Hold on. It's so weird how everything has to pass through that thing. So come have a totally different conversation with me. So that's just my, like, if you choose or you need more information about the expansion mastermind, or are you in my Tools and Jewels free page? Are you part of the Phenomenal Woman community where I go live 5 days a week, and then we have 1 hour group call? It's 18 hours of coaching a month, and it's $47. And I clear every day for all of us. So that's another place to come and play. And then I think I'll wrap up with some of the questions for you ladies. Which also, here's what's pretty dynamic. When we follow the energy, last month when I saw the video again on Now is the Time, Now is the Space. I paid somebody to actually break it all down into words for me, because I knew I just needed it. I mean, I needed it. So here we are today, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, whole new program, new plan, just whatever, different energy. And we're talking about releasing that. And his whole thing, and I love, okay, back up. Every 30 days in the Phenomenal Woman, we pick a new topic and we clear for 30 days. We've been doing the future you. And I was already clear on the clearing that I was going to do because I followed the energy. And as I'm reading it in here today, it goes in with everything that we're doing is, what would it be like? What energy, space, and consciousness can you be to be out of control, out of definition, out of limitation, form, structure, significance, out of linearity, and out of, this will be hard to say with this thing, consistencies, and everything that does not, I couldn't say it before, now I really can't say it. It's called circles, so I'll just call it circles. So what energy, space, and consciousness in you, in your body be to be out of control, out of definition, out of form, structure, limitation, and significance with total ease. Let's just say that. right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys, POVADs, and beyond. That clearing changed my life in the process because I've done it as a 30 by 30 in the Phenomenal Woman, and I did it before that. So as we go into whether you choose to work with wherever, even in the tools and jewels or whatever, once I become that energy, it goes everywhere. And then everybody kind of gets it, you know, by osmosis. So we're going to run that clearing. What energy, space, and consciousness can I be to be out of control, out of definition, out of limitation, out of form, structure, and significance, out of linearity, and out of concentricities, the totalities, and everything that doesn't allow that would be destroyed and uncreated. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and poc, all nine shorts, boys, POVADs, and beyonds. When I first got that clearing, I hated it because I didn't want to be out of control. I didn't want to be out of form and structure, and I didn't want to be out of limitation because it was all working together really well, like all that. And it wasn't. That was the funny part. There was no ease because there was so much form and structure and significance. And now today, the energy that I get to play with is chaos energy. And I didn't get that for a long time, but chaos is, it's not like chaos that we have a point of view, but it's an energy of generation and creation and manifestation and actualization is chaos energy. So have fun, see me somewhere. We're going to start that clearing in about a week. And then, or run it on your own, doesn't matter. That's the fun thing with Access. You can do it on your own. And it says right here, what if now is a space for you to have the space of you that is beyond others? And that's what we're going with. I mean, it was like when I talked about expansion and that, and had I stuck to the program and the energy of what I've created for the last 3 or 4 months, it didn't fit. So anywhere that you're doing that in your business and you defined what it's supposed to look like, let it breathe, ask some questions about it, take off the sweater. I keep saying that, Tanya, because I see you in this warm sweater in your, you know, and it's like 90 here where I live right now, and you're probably all cold in Belgium. Yeah. And, but it's take that comfort zone sweater off. And if now, what if now is a space, and I know it is, for you to have the space of you that is beyond others. Expand into the space that is truly yours to be.
Wow.
And everything that doesn't allow that, for each and every one of you that listens to the recording or that's here, take that in, be that, perceive that, right, wrong, good, bad, pod, poc, all nine shorts, boys, POVADs, and beyond. And you're amazing and you're phenomenal. And that's how I named my membership group, was phenomenal. Phenomenance is an energy. It's an energy. We don't even know what it is. There's no such, like, it's like ordinary, extraordinary, and then being the energy of phenomenons. And so I invite that also into this space of expanding what is truly yours. So bam, there we go. Call 3 down. Something like that.
Wow, 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 Lene. I'm so curious about your expansion and so glad is not the word, but yeah, glad is for the moment that you indeed sense the energy, the change, and that you just chose to wow.
Yeah. And I've done that my entire life, I've done that my entire life and judged it for being wrong. So one of the gifts of this conscious work is everything that I thought would be wrong, like in somebody else's point of view, to create a program and then just go poof, would be wrong. But I'm different. And so I used to say, well, I can't do that. That's what I'm supposed to do. And I'm just more space now that it's like, no. I'm not wrong, I'm actually right. That's the strongness of me, because my wrongness is my strongness of like, I'm following the energy that's going to take farther beyond for me than that would have. So thank you for acknowledging that. And you guys, if you're working with me or in energy work, you're already doing that, but you're probably not acknowledging it, and you're going into the judgment of the wrongness of you. So,
yeah.
so exactly. So there we go.
Thank
All
you.
righty. Woo woo. Okay, so thank you for those who showed up live, your contribution, for those who watched the recording, and then we'll be back here on Monday, 12 o'clock. And then the emails, I've just been kind of sending information of what a next step is with me, if it's a ping or it's a fit. But now it's going to be called expansion. So all the artwork has changed. So
Wow. Woo, woo, wow.
fun. All right.
Congrats.
All right, guys. Thank you, ladies. Bye-bye.